everybody. Welcome to HowDoWeHuman. This is the podcast where we talk about all the weird and uncomfortable micro moments in life. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Binning.
This is now really on.
I got you. It's contagious.
Your host, Seven Cox. Man, sometimes you think you can let out a fake yawn, and you're wrong.
Yeah.
The second you do that inhale.
Today we're talking about exhaustion / burnout. I don't know what the official title of this episode is going to be yet, but that's the general concept of what we're going to be going over today.
Can we coin a term, burn-exhaustion?
Yeah, that's what it's. That's
feels
what
like something
that'll be real good for our SEO.
Yes.
But before we talk about that, Evan, I want to know, because this is the first episode we've recorded in over a month.
I know.
How you doing?
I mean, I'm doing okay. It's hard when that happens to decide, like, what do I talk about? Oh man, it's too much going on. Do I talk about the fact that at work I sent an email that said "sounds food will do"? No, I didn't want to bring it up because I sent that, and then like a week later saw that that's what I wrote. Sounds food.
Sounds food.
Here's the thing. I got to tell this, and I don't want to get too in the weeds with it, because this will relate to what we're talking about today. But to intro that general idea. No, I'm not even going to do that. I'm going to talk about that afterwards. What I'm going to do is this. We had a little hiccup. You might not have noticed because, hey, you've been busy, and we'll hear all about that, I'm sure.
I wonder if this is something I actually do know about, but chose not to bring up to you.
The website's been down. Were you aware?
No.
Okay. Oh, now I'm curious. Was it within our email?
What do you mean?
Okay.
No, the thing that I thought was that some of those episodes came out on wildly different days than Monday.
Really?
Yes.
Check that.
I believe episode 300 came out on a Saturday, but
episode 300, January 13th. No, that's a Monday. That's weird. I don't know what's going on. They all should have come out on Monday. On my podcast app, it shows it coming out on Monday.
Okay.
That's very funny, though. No. So our website had been down. It was not going to go down. I knew there was some stuff up. Two things were happening. Our web host, I needed to renew. Our host is a little expensive, and I was actually looking at switching it over, but I was on top of that. The other thing, I needed to renew our domain, the fact that we own HowDoWeHuman.com.
Mm-hmm.
It's a super cheap thing to renew. I use, in fact, Namecheap is the company I use. I went to update said domain, and they locked me out of my account. They said, we detect suspicious activity. Now, normally, when something like that happens, there will be hey, go through this quick little process. We'll send a code to your phone, some shit like that. Not with Namecheap. They're like, you're out. You're shut the fuck down right now.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to email us in order to get this sorted. Like, Jesus Christ. Okay. So at this point, we've got like a couple of days before the domain dies, and we no longer own it. So I email him. I explain the situation. I'm like, how do I just get access to my account again? Because that shouldn't be hard. And I just got the most like AI loop around fucking answer That's just like, did you know, your account is, you've been locked out of your account because of suspicious activity. And it's asking me like, can you check the device you logged in on? Run a scan on it. Make sure there's not malware on there. So I'm like, all right, I did it. No, there's not malware on it. Nothing suspicious about it. I mentioned like I use a VPN. Maybe that flagged something. And they're like, no. It without I can't look back at him right now without looking back at him. It was basically like we were getting somewhere, and it was like, check those things. I did. Cool. Give us the. Oh no! It was after days of going back and forth with them. The domain expired. They're like, your account's been has suspicious activity on it, so you're not going to be able to use it for this anymore. We're going to need you to make a new email account, email us from that account, and then we'll move forward from there. Like, Jesus, okay. I didn't make a new account. I'll take that. I used our HowDoWeHuman email.
Yeah.
And said, hey, this is the new account. You were talking with me. I'm Evan, about the domain, howdowehuman.com, blip, blop, bloop, trying to give all the information. So it's like, all right. Naturally, the response I get seems like it has no idea what I'm talking about. It feels very AI, and is asking, like, please provide the email ID of our former conversation, or the ID number. What the fuck is an email ID number? And they said, for instance, this email's ID number is Y765, blah, 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 blah. I'm looking around Gmail, I'm Googling it, and it's just like, yeah, no, Gmail doesn't do that. You can't see email ID numbers. Whatever they're using, they can apparently. But so I just told them that and suggested, because I get a little testy with this stuff nowadays, like, you
just type representative over and over again.
Essentially just went like, sorry, it looks like Gmail doesn't actually provide email address or email identification numbers, but is there any other way I can validate this? Clearly I'm talking to an AI. And I know that these questions aren't going to get me very far. I just really need to. We've already passed the point where my domain has expired, and that's because of this conversation. Please, let's get this settled. I was terse.
Good.
And they responded, I can assure you, I am not AI. Namecheap does not use AI. Please, and then what? Please give us the email identification number. So now my response is mean.
Yeah.
And I tell it what's what. I don't remember everything I said, but I do remember, and I remember because it was quoted back at me. He said something along the lines of, though you say you're not, I know that I am talking with an AI bot right now because humans don't talk like this, period, at all, period. Please get this done. And I was just like, this is your last shot. If you can't get me back into my account, I'm done, and I'm moving the domain to another domain provider. And they responded, put that in quotes, which you never like to see yourself quoted back at yourself when you're being a dick. And they're like, I'm sorry you feel this way. I assure you we are not AI, blah, blah, blah. And we go back and forth a couple more times. And I at this point, it occurred to me, like, I'm not even going to be able to move the domain to another system if I can't get into this account. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to ignore that. I'm going to play along. They asked for the email ID number again. I'm just like, I fucking can't. I can't do it. I don't know what you want from me. And they're like, when would be a good time for us to call? I'm like,
right now.
Okay. I set a time. I said 2:00. And they did call. And I was reminded in the worst kind of way that though right now the customer service complaint I have with every company is them using AI, before that, the common practice is farming out their customer service to other countries, to people who do not speak perfect English.
Sure.
Turns out that's what I was dealing with.
Yeah.
It is a human. It was a very nice Chinese lady who did not speak perfect English. And I had to talk to her on the phone after having said, humans don't talk like this at all. I was able to get back into the account, but I'm like, at what cost?
Yeah.
I feel like I've lost so much.
Yeah, that's fair.
I fucked up. And that email's still in there. I'm not going to put it past me not to delete that so you don't have to read. But man, it sucked. I'm sorry this story took so long. We're getting back in the rhythm of things, but the website's back up. This will relate a little bit to what we have to talk about later. But before we get to that, I have to know, Chris.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I mean, hey, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see that I'm not in my normal setup. I'm in this dark corner with harsh lighting. Looks awful.
In a prison cell.
And even if you're not watching on YouTube, you can tell that my audio is worse than it normally is. We're still dealing with the remediation from the Eaton wildfire. And so I don't have most of my equipment either clean or available at this point. Not sure when still that'll be an option. Still dealing with what will the landlord cover? What won't the landlord cover? Shouldn't they cover some of this?
Yeah.
All that fun stuff.
And to be clear, your place didn't catch fire, but
it did not.
Relatively severe smoke damage and ash and soot getting in and fucking everything up.
Yeah, that's right. And trying to figure out, like, is this item dirty because of the ash and soot and smoke, or is this dirty because we haven't really thoroughly cleaned it since we bought it?
It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell. So, I mean, we're recording this right before what will perhaps be the largest rainstorm of the year in Southern California.
Yes.
So we will see also what sort of mudslide or flash flood damage gets done to that area. But yeah, anyway, all of that to say, here's a little story about you would think, hey, I was in India for 3 weeks. Maybe I'll have a story about India. And I do have a lot of stories about that trip, but I'm not going to tell any of them right now. We'll figure out a way to maybe find a way to consolidate them all into one episode instead of sprinkled out over the next several. But I wanted to give a little update. If you remember, Evan, my tooth needed to get put in. And before we went on that 3-week trip, I had a dentist appointment and they did the little x-ray. They were like, all right, we're going to send this off to the lab and they're going to send us your tooth implant. Can you, and they gave me the day that they wanted me to come back and get it in. I was like, I'll still be on my trip. So we pushed it back a couple more days until I'd be back. So I go in and my appointment's at 10. I get in there at 10 o'clock. I sit in the waiting room for 30 minutes. And then they're like, all right, sorry about the wait, but we're ready now. Come on back. I come on back. I sit in the little chair. And they're like, oh, sorry about that wait. I was like, it's fine. And then the hygienist or whoever is in the room leaves for a little bit. Then they come back and they're like trying to pull up my chart. And they're like, so last time you were here, did we do the x-ray? Yeah. And they're like,
inspiring
okay.
confidence.
And then they leave. And then another guy comes in. He's like, say sorry about that wait. Yeah, I know you're waiting for a while. It's like, yeah, I mean, it's fine. Like, then he leaves. And so now it's like 10:45. And the guy comes back in and he's like, hey, so I got some news and you're not gonna like it.
Oh no.
It's like, okay.
Would I have liked it more 45 minutes ago?
Yeah. He was like, hey, yeah, we don't have the implant. The lab still hasn't sent it over.
Oh.
Oh.
God.
You couldn't have like called me or something?
That's insane.
So even though we pushed the appointment later than they originally had,
yeah,
we've now pushed it another week. So maybe by the end of next week, I'll finally have finished this dental implant.
Wow.
Saga. But I don't have high hopes. They said, if we get it in earlier, we'll call you. But instead, that appointment was like February 6th or something. And they were like, just to be safe, let's do like February 19th. I was like, Jesus Christ. This thing that was supposed to take you like 2, maybe 3 weeks is going to take you over a month. That's crazy.
Awesome. That's an incredible lack of oversight.
Right?
To be able to get you in there and have you wait that long before anyone was like,
we don't have that piece we need.
I'd like to think the dentist didn't have any other patients and just like realized it, but was really anxious about having to tell you.
Yeah, or like tried to get me to like want to storm out or whatever.
It's just watching on the security camera.
Yeah,
come on, leave.
Come on. Give up.
Do it now.
Say you have something to
do. Nope. I got nothing to do.
I've got nothing to do. I don't even have a home to go back to right now.
I like being here. I'll wait all day.
Yeah. This is my new home now. Anyway, all of this to say, I'm feeling a little bit of exhaustion.
Yeah. I was really, just as you were saying that, like, after these horrible, horrible fires, maybe burnout's not the right term to use. Maybe exhaustion is the way to go.
It is applicable, I think, but
it's relevant.
It is a part of it. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. So, I mean, we have very different reasons for being burnt out. I think it's, tell me if I'm wrong, I think it's fair to say we were both already feeling a little burnout, and then you had to deal with both a horrible fire coming within a block of your place and international travel and a lot more stuff than I did. So we're probably at slightly different levels right now.
Yeah, probably. I mean, we were definitely both feeling it because we had suggested this topic maybe 15 episodes ago, and I was like, let's do it right after 300, because that feels like the appropriate time to do that. And then a bunch of other stuff happened.
Yeah, kept us from recording for a while. And that's essentially where it relates to my "how you doing" story. Is like we said back then. Initially, we were planning on banking a lot of episodes. We had those, but it was like right after we recorded the episode 300. It was just like, oh, that's not gonna happen at all.
Yeah.
So there was like, again, 300, and we did 301 episodes without missing a week. You get into a rhythm. We've been doing this for years and years and years now. And then we find out, hey, we're going to have a little break. I'm still going to, we re-release some old episodes. I recorded little 30-second intros. That's not very much work. I can do that. Otherwise, I just kind of had the thought hey, I'm not dealing with the fires. 3 weeks of not editing these episodes and social posts and stuff like that might be nice. I could use a little break. Instead, immediately the website goes down. And I spent pretty much the entire 3 weeks going back and forth between the domain and the actual web host. And it wasn't fun, and I feel none at all rejuvenated. All it is I didn't get to do the fun part of podcasting, which is podcasting.
Yeah.
Catching up with you. So, I don't know about you. I did not have a relaxing 3 weeks as much as I intended. Did you get any relaxing in on your trip?
No, not really. I mean, we were there for 3 different weddings. Each were multi-day events. And so there was a gap between wedding 2 and wedding 3. But I wouldn't really say that I got a lot of relaxing done. Maybe a day or 2. But it was also during that stretch where I got food poisoning. So that didn't help either. Yeah, I would say not a ton of relaxing was done. So I still definitely feel the burnout. I mean, part of why we talked about this in the little short episode podcast update thing, where I don't think either one of us feels the burnout from doing this podcast.
No.
Although there are things about this podcast that maybe we would like to figure out how to come up with a replacement for different features or whatever, or how things are done. But yeah, I mean, I definitely felt like I missed doing the podcast, but most other things in my life I feel pretty burned out on.
Yeah.
my job, the news, all that great stuff, this fire situation, all of it.
Really just terrible 2025 so far.
It has.
Yeah, no, and especially for me, I'm I work from home. Don't go a lot of places. Even though this is over video, this is my main socializing for the week.
Yeah.
And I felt the loss of that. But hey, we're back. I think here's my definition of feeling burnt out. Because there is just being I'm tired all the time. I'll have depression, stuff like that. That can all weigh you down and just make you feel awful. What I'm more experiencing right now is I just have a lot to do at all times. And I never feel like I'm feeling better. It's not I got that project done. Now that weight is off my back. It's just constant. And even over the weekends where I'm just I'm laying on the couch watching the Super Bowl. I don't feel like I'm getting better. I think I'm just under a rock that is, I don't know, a lot of it's work. But yeah, the state of the United States of America is also weighing heavily on me. And I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I will say I need to take a vacation. I don't know. That stresses me out too, though.
Yeah, because I mean, it costs money, and there's all sorts of things going on with it, figuring out where to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the state of the United States right now. And I don't want to get too political because I'm not an expert. Neither are the people running the United States right now, but that's not important. But yeah, the burnout of just like every single day is a new awful thing, and I know that the other side of the political spectrum felt that way during the last administration, but I think it's a little different now because there's like evidence instead of just like baseless grifter claims. Everybody panicking about a private citizen having all of their like social security information. And then the other side of the political aisle is upset that Kendrick Lamar performed at the halftime show. They're not really the same thing.
No, they're not.
But yeah, the exhaustion from that, the exhaustion from social media, the doom scrolling, not only for stuff like that, but also as I try to keep up with different fire news and remediation articles and stuff, figuring out like, is our place going to be somewhere we can move back in soon, somewhere we can move back in later, or somewhere we need to, or a situation where we need to start looking for a new place.
Right.
All of that is also exhausting. Plus you have the price gouging of any vacant units combined with the thousands of people that lost homes in both fires, all now trying to fill those handful of spots. Combined with federal leadership that says, "Good luck. We're gonna abolish the FEMA organization and just send money to whoever we want."
Yeah, it's all gonna be great. Listen, we're not gonna get.
But at least I can go to a job that I hate every single day
and know that everyone there's. They're supposed to be there. I can't think of the fucking words. DEI joke.
Yeah.
What's the term they keep using? Qualified. Everyone there is qualified to be there. I don't know. I've ever worked a job where everyone was qualified to be there, and I don't think I ever will.
Yeah. And you know who often feels like the least qualified people to be there? The people that are complaining about the DEI in the first place, who are often higher up in the corporate system.
Valid. The hard thing, I was going to say, we don't need to be too, let's talk politics. That's not what this episode's about. That is a large source of exhaustion right now.
For sure.
But it's like, I try to be an optimist. I try to be not a full-on Buddhist, but a Buddhist thinker and feeler about things. And I know, I pay attention to politics. I know what's going on. I know this is intentional, and I know that the idea is to get the American people feeling hopeless and depressed, feeling like shit, so they don't do anything.
Correct.
And I hate that. And I feel that. I don't like it.
Yeah. It is perhaps the thing that they are the best at.
They're very, very good at it. And I don't know. I just don't know what to... I don't know. I think it's relatable. I think a lot of people just don't know what the fuck to do right now. It does make it even harder to do some of the dumb shit that I have to do at my job. I'm like, what does this matter? I'll quit my job and work for Greenpeace. I feel like that was a very 90s thing to do. Is Greenpeace still around?
I'm sure they're still around. I mean, I did read an article that was like, I think this was around the same time as like the Greenpeace joke of it all, where like it used to be very pejorative to be like, oh, you just want to save the whales or whatever, like that catchphrase.
Yeah. Hug a tree.
But then like the whales have actually been saved. So like it used to be like a thing to make fun of you for, but it the job got done. So I don't really know what the new pejorative thing to say that can work is.
I don't know how anybody, and there's plenty of that sort of news that goes around, but I don't know how anybody can look at that and say like the whales were saved and be like, well, that is bad.
Yeah,
that sucks. I don't like that. I hate whales, bro. I had a semi-related to this. I'm curious if you relate to this. I had a little podcast related breakthrough. Listening to a podcast. Listening to someone else talk about a breakthrough made me have a breakthrough.
Now it's time for a breakthrough.
That's my breakthrough.
I liked it.
Thanks. I was listening to Ron Funch's podcast, Getting Better. I love that guy, and it's a good podcast about getting better. And Andy Richter was on. They were talking about going to therapy, depression, stuff like that. And Andy Richter brought up something that made me go like, oh, fuck, that is also how I feel. He said when he was going to therapy, it like came out of him in these words, the feeling he's always feeling, which is like he's going around every day as if he didn't get his homework done. Feeling like there's something he forgot to do. There's like, oh, I didn't do everything.
Sure.
And I feel that very heavily. I have just like a mental checklist of shit that I'm like, I gotta do that. I gotta do this every day. And I kind of just walk around with this weight on me. And I think that this is all adding to me feeling tired.
I mean, yeah, it sounds like it would be. Absolutely. I don't think that I feel that way. I think that I'm more just like there's so much talk of, like it's the Rocky Balboa thing of like, it ain't about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you could get it and keep moving forward. And I just feel like I've been hit so many times that you have to like force yourself to keep moving forward, but why? I'm gonna get hit again.
That quote, I think it's, of course, from Hollywood ambassador Sylvester Stallone, ambassador to the president.
Yeah.
They're gonna bring back Hollywood. Him,
I know,
Mel Gibson, and Jon Voight.
Yeah, I mean, incredible to pick ambassadors to Hollywood. I mean, Sylvester Stallone, I guess, has gotten some pretty good work over the last 10, 20 years, but
he's the Tulsa King, baby.
He's the Tulsa King, baby. But like Jon Voight and Mel Gibson, who like still get some work, but are not like, the biggest Hollywood figures currently. So it's wild to pick them as ambassadors.
It's very strange. I'd even go so far as to say I understand Mel Gibson and Sylvester Stallone as people who have like a history of these big blockbusters, crowd pleasers, whatever.
Yeah.
Jon Voight.
Yeah.
Good career in the 70s. Mission Impossible in the 90s.
Sure.
Anaconda.
Anaconda.
He's in Minority Report.
Right?
He is in Holes.
I was pretty sure he's
Minority
in Holes.
Report.
Yeah. Megalopolis, of course.
Still haven't watched. I was thinking you were telling me all the movies you watched on the long flight. I'm like, that would have been my Megalopolis moment.
It was not on there. So.
Damn. I'd upload it to my iPad. I don't have an iPad. Whatever tablet I have.
You were talking in your opening, little "How you doing" is what I was reaching for. I couldn't remember what we called those. About AI, and
True.
I also still have so much burnout from AI of like all the garbage that people use it for, and that people celebrate it so much.
Yeah.
Of like, oh man. Yeah, I see so many videos on Instagram that are like, Hollywood is so cooked because look what AI can do. And it's like, not tell a story. It's a guy driving a car, and then in the next shot, his car is different. But, it's just because like AI is only getting better. So like, just imagine that it like was doing good. Oh, okay. Those awful, I don't know if you've watched any of these, but these awful movie trailers that people make using AI. That's like, here's what Adam Sandler would look like as Homer Simpson.
Yeah, that one. And a lot of people were convinced it was real.
Yeah, and
what is wrong with you?
What is wrong with you? Have you ever seen a trailer look like this? It's awful. There's some like AI Adam Sandler voice being like, hey, my name's Homer, and this is my wife Marge, and my son Bart, and this is Lisa. And sometimes I go to the bar, and then the bar is run by Mo Sislak. And there's my friends Lenny and Carl. And it's like, what? This isn't like
not a movie trailer.
This is not a movie trailer. It's always like Denzel Washington as Carl Carlson. What are you doing? Chris Pratt as Lenny. What?
Terrible. No, and the dispiriting news I've seen recently is major film festivals are now having AI programs. So people are submitting AI films, and word is they're really, really bad.
Yeah.
But for some reason, now they're being shown at film festivals.
I mean, at least 2 of the 10 Best Picture nominees have AI related scandals.
Scandal.
But I think one of them might still win Best Picture. So who cares? But it is weird because the AI in regards to like art and movies and all that stuff is wild because it's always like people who lack creative skill and expression just deciding they can do it too, and that's why it always sucks so hard. Is it's devoid of talent and expression.
Yeah,
some of what AI can do is impressive from a like, you had nothing and now you have this right away, but it also consumes a ton of resources and is bad for other reasons as well. But it's never going to replace or I'm not going to say it's never going to. It shouldn't replace what like people who are talented are doing and have been doing across various mediums for centuries.
Yeah. No, and I mean, I'm down for Hollywood, the whole system to collapse and explode. That's fine.
Yeah.
If that's what AI does, so be it. But the result of that is not going to be, and now we have all these independently made AI movies that everybody fucking loves. Yay. It's like, No, we're gonna reel back to just people making movies.
Yeah. That Coca-Cola ad that used all
nice.
AI and looked like shit, but everybody was like, that's so cool. You didn't see it? Is that what you said?
I did not see it.
Let me see if I can find it for you.
Nah, my coworker sent me the opening to this season of Severance with Keanu Reeves' face in place of Adam Scott.
Oh, yes, I did see that as well.
Looks amazing. Why? To what end? I don't know. I get it as a fuck around, having fun. And I will say, I 100% believe, because I have faith in humans, believe it or not, I believe there will be someone who is able to somehow make something really genuinely beautiful and human with AI. We'll consider it art. And then everyone will be like, I do it too. Oh boy, here we go.
So the fine print that you'll see here is created by Real Magic AI.
Oh no.
Yeah, where the polar bear's skin kind of moves weird. And the still dog and the truck changes make and model every time it cuts back to it.
Jesus Christ.
It just
what is the point?
Yeah.
It looks like shit.
Exactly.
And they've been animating that polar bear for so long now. And those old commercials still look good. They look really good. They got good animators.
Yeah.
Why stoop? Just to say AI is involved? That's what everyone wants right now.
Yeah. That's true. Should we watch the Flintstones movie trailer? Adam Sandler and Scarlett Johansson AI concept.
What is happening? It's really showing what people like to talk shit about, Hollywood executives have no imagination, they have the worst ideas. It's like, it seems like most people have the worst ideas.
Yeah, oh man. I might have to share my screen on this.
Please do.
I don't know if I had the Coca-Cola ad muted. I don't know if we should mute this as well, but
we might need to hear it.
Okay, fine. I'll unmute it real quick. It's just
where the Stone Age meets the wacky world of the Flintstones. Let me introduce you to the colorful cast of characters that make this prehistoric town so special. First up, we have Fred Flintstone, the head of the Flintstone family. Fred is a loud, fun-loving caveman who works as a Bronto crane operator at the Slate Rock and Gravel Company.
Oh, we can't quite get the profile view of Adam Sandler quite right in AI.
Wilma is often the voice of reason in their lively household.
Can't quite get Scarlett Johansson's face right either.
Always ready to join Fred in whatever zany escapade they find themselves in.
This sucks.
Barney's wife, Betty Rubble, is Wilma's best friend and a sweet, supportive partner.
Their interpretation of Zoe Deschanel's face.
Mr. Slate, strict but fair overseer at the Slate Rock and Gravel.
Oh my God. This sucks.
Meet Pearl Slaghooper, Wilma's domineering mother. Now say hello to Joe Rockhead, one of Fred's close friends. Known for being a bit reckless and always up for a good time, Joe adds another layer of fun to Fred's adventures. Next is Sam Slagheap.
Oh my God. First of all, as someone who's watched the Flintstones, so many of those characters are irrelevant.
Pebbles is a playful little girl who brings joy and energy to the Flintstone household. She's always ready for fun and mischief, especially with her best buddy, Bam Bam.
Bam Bam.
Speaking of Bam
Bam
Rubble,
Bam.
he's the super strong adopted son of Barney and Betty Rubble.
Show me Dino, you cowards.
Don't forget about
there he is. Yes! He looks like shit.
And we can't leave out Arnold the Paperboy.
Oh yes, that famous character Arnold the Paperboy, my favorite Flintstones character.
I want Maybe this is another mission for you to recut movie trailers with just like slow motion footage of each person just kind of smiling, maybe walking, and a voiceover being like, "This is." I can't think. What's a movie character?
This is
Barney.
Tyler Durden.
This is Tyler Durden.
I know that this is a huge waste of our time, but
but this is the light.
But here's one more that looks awful.
Was it the Megamind trailer? I just saw the clip.
No, this is an AI trailer for Scooby-Doo, and
God, let's do it.
I've seen a clip of this trailer, and so this is the one I was searching for before the Flintstones one came up. Because Shaggy looks horrifying in this AI trailer. So let me show you what they've done. Look at how they've massacred my boy.
We're gonna get so many hits off of React to AI trailers.
Yeah, you're right. This should be our new podcast.
This is it now.
Is reacting to
how do we react to AI trailers?
Yeah.
Already, this sucks.
So here we are.
Here we are.
Another haunted mansion. I'm Shaggy, by the
way. It's Harry Styles.
Look
at this. Look at this.
Yeah, that one. This is Fred, Golden Boy.
What did they do to Zac Efron's eyebrows?
He thinks he's a genius, and I'll be honest, he's pretty good at what he does, except when we get caught in his traps. Daphne, she's basically what happens when a fashion icon gets
looks nothing like Sydney Sweeney. Also, I don't know if you saw it,
or casually get us into trouble with her.
But did you see how they credited Sydney Sweeney?
Let
me go back real quick. Sweeney Sydney. We can't even get the first and last names right.
I mean, it's not Sydney Sweeney. It's Sweeney Sydney.
It's Sweeney Sydney. That's probably why it doesn't look like Sydney Sweeney. It's because this is a different person. This is Sweeney Sydney. It
looks like a completely different AI model in the second shot.
Well, I mean, that was the same thing with the Harry Styles as Shaggy. Like they don't look the same from this shot to this shot. That's not the same guy.
Looks like the live action, the Mucinex guy.
Anyway, let's round out this cast.
Looks amazing while doing it. So there's that, and Velma, the genius. If Google was a person, it'd be her.
This also does not look like Millie Bobby Brown.
Not at all. Spring. But now she's busy.
But it does look like it's almost going to be a porn.
Yes, I mean that's. You have to keep in mind who keeps using this stuff.
My best bud, Scooby-Doo.
This does not look like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds as Scooby-Doo is a wild choice.
Goose chases. Anyway, we're here at this mansion because, surprise, it's haunted. First, there's this guy who refuses to
Jacob Elordi for some reason.
Friendly. I'm sure he's just super cold, right? I mean, I get it. Draft the old mansion and all. And then there's this guy, the creepy groundskeeper. Honestly, I had a shovel and
this is not how movie trailers are put together.
Totally normal day. No ghosts, no danger. Definitely no one lurking in the shadows waiting to scare the pants off us.
Coming soon.
I didn't see it. How was it spelled?
Cooming. Coming soon.
For my sanity, I need you to tell
me.
Check
the
comments.
Okay, I'm going to also...
People agree this is insane.
I'm going to look at the comments for both the Flintstones and Scooby-Doo real quick.
Or are people jacked about these?
So, yeah, because these are from different channels.
That was AI Bros Entertainment.
Yes, that was AI Bros Entertainment, and the first one was Multiverse AI. There's the pinned comment from AI Bros Entertainment on this Scooby-Doo trailer. Hi, everyone. I've read all your comments.
Hey guys.
I know some people don't like AI, but I'm still working hard on improving my AI videos based on our childhood cartoons. I hope you'll come to enjoy them maybe someday. I'm really sorry if this video made you feel uncomfortable. Just relax and enjoy, and feel free to leave feedback and ideas so I can improve future videos. Don't forget to hit subscribe to support me. The top comment underneath that pinned comment is leave our childhood alone. Please no more live action.
All right.
Nah, bro, nothing will beat the original Scooby-Doo live action from 2002 to 2004, especially Matthew Lillard, the original Shaggy. He's not the original Shaggy, but I mean, whatever. I get what they're getting at. This ain't the live action series we hope for. I feel like seeing Scooby-Doo with Tim Burton. I don't know what that means.
I think I get it. Like a weird vibe to it, akin to a creepster like Tim Burton.
My childhood has been chopped up and skewered, and they won't quit until it's forgotten completely. And here's the first one. The first positive comment. Not bad casting choices. Daphne and Velma are hot. LOL. Ryan Reynolds as Scobby? Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Get it, Scobby. Scobby-Doo.
Scobby-Doo.
Zibbity-bop. To me, it's just the man's hubris. It's making shit like this. Again, I get it. If like that pinned comment shows the intention, like, no, yes. I'm trying to get better at this and show that it's like, oh, these people really think they're like, no, yeah. I'm the one on the cutting edge, and yes. You'll see what amazing things I'm doing in the future. But to me, it's like if Eli Whitney made the cotton gin, and a bunch of bros were standing around him being like, look at that cool car! Started trying to drive it around. Bro, look what I did with this cotton gin.
Most of the comments on the Flintstones one have are of a similar vein that are like, you know, John Goodman was the best Fred Flintstone. A lot of people in here are like, no, I do like Scarlett Johansson as Wilma Flintstone, but everybody else is like these. They don't look like the actors that you're talking about.
It's me, Zooey Deschanel.
Yeah, that Zooey Deschanel one is hysterical. Somebody says, my mom asked me to watch this in the cinema, but it's fake, and she was so excited. It's embarrassing. But also it's important to keep in mind that these both have over 100,000 views.
Yeah. Yep. But again, I'm gonna take the optimist's route. I'm gonna take the win that the majority of comments are like, hey bro, fucking stop
doing this. Yeah.
Even if some people are still so like, this'll never beat the original movie.
Scarlett Johansson with red hair, and so I'd like to see her with red hair as Wilma Flintstone.
Well, that's a nice thought you got right there.
Fred Flintstone's kind of a dopey everyman, so it must be Adam Sandler.
Yes.
Will Ferrell and Steve Carell as these two characters who hardly ever factor into the Flintstones. I love it.
They're worth mentioning by name in the trailer.
Yeah.
As slappy slag hands. Will Ferrell would never.
Yeah.
He might.
He might.
He'd be a good
Everybody
slappy
has a price.
Yeah. What would be your price to play slappy slag hands?
$1.
I mean, listen, this might have been a futile effort in doing an episode where we're just like, I feel like shit. But I'd like to think it's relatable, and I think we've ended in a place that's... But, I mean, it's both embracing what feels like shit right now in time, but we're laughing. We're podcasting again. I feel lighter.
Yes.
And there's that reminder that most people in the comments are saying, please stop.
Please stop doing this. Oh, should I look at the comments on that Coca-Cola ad if assuming they have not disabled comments? Coca-Cola feels like maybe they would disable those comments, but let me take a look real quick. As long as we're feeling light, let's see if we get that same feeling here. From this, let's see. Top comment. Mm-hmm. As an aspiring animator / concept artist, it's really disheartening to see companies do this, but it's nice to see the negative feedback on it. Gives me some hope. Let's see the next one. The irony of the real magic tagline at the end of that fake commercial. You're a multi-billion-dollar company. Hire some animators.
They don't even need to. They already have animators.
Yeah.
They've fucking reran that same commercial from the mid-90s with the polar bears.
Yeah.
And it still looks great.
We all love it.
It looks so much better than this hot garbage you put out.
Almost every single comment on this Coca-Cola ad is negative. So
good.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Coke.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah. Listen, we got to take a quiz. I want to just roll that all up in my attempt at optimism. Just the news sucks. The world sucks. There's just a lot sucks right now. Everything is bad. Let's all try to remember, even though so many of them seem so awful, most people are good. Let's try to have faith in each other and just get through this fucking nightmare.
Yeah, and the best way to do that is to leave us 5 stars on any of the places where you get this podcast: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. It sounds like our website is still there, HowDoWeHuman.com.
Sure should be.
Okay. Sure. You can also check us out on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Also, YouTube has full video. You could have watched that AI stuff along with us and seen the horrors that man can create. All of those are at HowDoWeHuman on those different platforms.
It's also just kind of give us that double listen. You listen to it here, then go check out the video on YouTube.
Yeah. Come on. You can also send us an email to howdowehumanpod@gmail.com. And now it's time to take our little quiz, Evan. 5 questions. You pulled into the lead in the last time that we did this, so you are leading 36-34.
5 questions. Number 3 may surprise you.
Do you think you will keep this lead, Evan?
I do.
Okay, I think you will too.
Blind confidence.
Question number 1. Ooh. Which is the world's longest river? Amazon, Mississippi, Danube, or Nile?
I think I know this, but I also feel borderline 50-50 between 2.
I am 50-50 between 2. I would imagine we're 50-50 between the same 2.
Probably. I think I have it. So I'm gonna lock in my answer. I don't want to necessarily tell you what the answer is yet, though.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Fuck, I think I'm gonna get it wrong, but I'm gonna go with Nile.
I'm Gonna stick with my old buddy Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Going with the Amazon.
I mean, in these current times, it is best to stick with those big old billionaires. There was the Nile, though. Get fucked, Jeff Bezos.
Those were the two we were both between.
They were.
What is the title of the sequel to Thomas Harris's novel, The Silence of the Lambs? Red Dragon.
Yeah, make sure you pronounce that B.
Red Dragon, Cannibal, Hannibal, or Lecter? I
do like the idea that, like, he just, after Silence of the Lambs, he just had, like, rhyming names, Cannibal and Hannibal. And, I'm between two. And I have my answer, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's the other one.
Hello. I read this book in middle school, and my mom was not happy when I picked it up from the library. She was like, that shit's evil, bro.
I'm picking Red Dragon.
Okay. I am picking Hannibal.
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, I'm going to be real sad.
No, you were right.
I read this book.
Those were the two I was between.
Which is fair.
Approximately what proportion of the 206 bones in the human skeleton are contained in the hands and feet? 1/3, 1/4, 1/2, or 2/3?
I think I have my answer. I think I'm trying not to think too hard about this one, because I know I don't think thinking's going to help.
Yeah, man, I don't know, actually. I thought I had my answer, and now I think I might be off.
I'm sticking with it.
I have my answer.
Okay.
But I'm
saying 2/3.
Okay, I'm saying 1/2.
That was what I was tossing between.
It was 1/2.
You bastard. Which of these women is famous for a range of perfumes and scented candles branded under her own name? Jacqueline Gold, Michelle Monet, Mary Portas, or Joe Malone? I'll say it doesn't help that I have not heard of any of these people.
I have not heard of any of these people. I have my answer, but I don't think it's truly a shot in the dark.
Man, yeah. I would like, if they're famous for perfumes and candles branded under their name, I mean, I should.
You would think that we would know it. We just colloquially have heard of at least one of these women.
No. Yeah, blind shot. Oh, man. Famous for a range of perfume and scented candle. All right, first instinct, Joe Malone. Let's go.
Joe Malone's my second pick, but my first instinct is Jacqueline Gold.
That's a good one.
You were right. Hey, Joe Malone.
We're tied again.
We are tied.
Let's see what happens here.
Let's see what happens on this last question. Which crustacean is situated on top of a telephone as part of a surrealist object created by Salvador Dali in 1936? Crab, lobster, shrimp, or prawn?
And now I'm hungry. A surrealist object.
Yeah.
Generally, questions about Salvador Dali are, did he melt those clocks? And did he grow that mustache?
Yeah.
This one is beyond me.
Yeah, you only know yes or no questions related to Salvador Dali.
Did he? Did he do that? Did Dali do that?
I have my answer. I'm locking it in.
Dali do. Man. Okay. Oh, man. I hate this. I'm going to go with a prawn.
I'm going with lobster.
I hate this because I feel like I've answered the last option every time.
Well, it was lobster. So I do close the lead, but you do keep it.
I'm up by 1.
You are up by 1. This brings our battle scores to 37 for me and 38 for you.
That was a rousing match. We went back and forth the whole time.
Yeah,
I don't think we've ever done that before.
Was a competitive, a competitive match. Yes.
That's how tennis sounds to me. That's how Zooey Deschanel sounds to me. Just doing a real Mars Attacks.
Yeah. Is New Girl on?
Who's that girl? Well, listen, we hope you're glad we're back. If you're not, you got to let us know.
You got it.
But, I will say, and man, maybe this is putting an ignorant fire under my ass. But initially, when we were going to do this, and then we were like, oh, let's hold off. It was because I was going to put together a survey to ask y'all some questions about how you feel about this podcast, what you like less, what you want to see more of. I will try to get that on the website by Monday when this comes out. If you go to the website, HowDoWeHuman.com, and it's not there, don't be surprised. But I'll try to make this happen. We just want to fine tune this machine. Baby.
Yeah.
All right. And this machine has an exhaust. Setting you up. You finished.
What?
This is a clear setup. This is how improv scenes feel. This fine-tuned machine has an exhaust, and we're feeling exhaustion, so we're gonna burn out. In this machine.
That was the clear setup.
There was no clear setup.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.